Want to know what it takes to be an REO agent? Let's talk about it right now on REOBroker Agent Spotlight. Welcome to REOBroker.com. My name is Mike Sanborn, Executive Director of REOBroker.com. REOBroker.com is a national professional organization that supported real estate agents in the default space for over 30 years. Today we're featuring our agent, Tom Lazzaro. Tom is a full-time professional realtor for over 25 years, proud member and former master broker of the NRBA, and also one of our special members of REOBroker.com, with special focus on business development and REO foreclosures. Tom has sold bank-owned properties for over 20 years and has taught a very unique local foreclosure process to others for longer than that. He is one of the top 2 REO brokers in the region based on volume and reputation. I'm happy to provide as many current references as needed for his business. His passion is helping people with the foreclosure process, before or after. He lists and manages REO, short sale assistants, and investors, so you can call Tom later and we'll go over where his information can be found. Tom mainly sells in the Southern Colorado region, but has extended his presence all over the state of Colorado. Welcome, Tom, and thank you for joining REOBroker.com Agent Spotlight. We're grateful that you're here to join us today.
Hey, Mike, thanks for having me. Honored to be here.
Tom, how long have you been a member of the REOBroker.com family, and why did you join our great organization?
I think I've been with you guys for about 4 years now. I've known Brandy for quite a while, and I've known you for quite a while over the years, last 20 or so years, and I love what you guys are doing, and I want to be a part of it.
That's great to hear, Tom. Can you share initially what inspired you to pursue a career in real estate?
Starting
and
in
all things intense sales training?
Yeah. So the abridged version is I actually got involved with Amway pretty hot and heavy, probably 22 years ago, and just beating my head against the wall, but learning some amazing sales skills. I finally was trying to recruit a guy who was a real estate managing broker, and he finally told me to put that away, go get my license and come work for him. And literally that's what I did. But if it wasn't for Amway sales, training tactics, listening to all those tapes, not be afraid of the phone, educate yourself, love people, I might not have become a realtor, but I love what I do now.
That's great. I hear that you love real estate. How did you become to specialize in REO?
The short version of that is I lost a listing to a bank. I was ready to list a home for a couple, and then they let me know that they just turned the keys over to the bank because they were going into foreclosure. They forgot to tell me that part. So I was really miffed that I lost a listing. I said, I want to get this thing back. And so I just got on the horn to that particular bank, and they're like, no, we're going to list with the REO broker. And I'm like, what's an REO broker? And so I didn't get that listing back, obviously. But then I'm like, I need to see what it takes to become an REO broker. And so I literally sat in my basement for 2 weeks and called every single bank I could find on the assessor's site for my local county to see who had loans here, and just began calling their loss mid area or REO departments, and until somebody gave me an REO. So it took 2 weeks, but I got my first one, and that was with Fremont Bank, which doesn't even exist anymore. And they were thrilled that I called because they happened to just pick up one in my area, and they gave it to me, and that was my start in becoming a REO broker.
What motivated you to start your own brokerage and team, and what do you enjoy most about working with them and REO?
Well, when it comes to REO, if you're going to have any amount of volume, you have to have a team. So for the first year or so of building my REO business, I was doing it all the billing, all the BPOs, everything. And once you start to pick up a lot of properties, you realize that you can't do it on your own. So you have to build some staff. And so I remember hiring the first gal too, and I hired her on, and then I didn't give her anything because I'm too much of a control freak. So my wife twisted my arm and said, give her the work to do. So you do have to build a team. You need people in the field, you need data entry people, and you need billing people at a minimum. So that's if you're just going big, you just have to have a staff. And then when it comes to brokerage, you said brokerage. I did break off from any kind of name brand office in 2004, and then got the wild hair to open up an actual real estate brokerage name brand in 2009. Built that up to about 55 realtors, and then I sold that in 2018. And I don't ever plan to do that again. It was a lot of work, but it was rewarding at the same time, and I'm happy to be solo again.
That's great information, Tom, because even my first hire was a billing clerk because of such an important responsibility. Hey, can you describe your current role and responsibilities and what really takes the most of the time in your office?
Well, other than having to do all the marketing updates and BPOs, which is a lot of desk work and a lot of time there, honestly, it's coordinating other people. I would always make the tongue-in-cheek joke that my 90% of my job is making sure other people do what they have to do. And so in the REO world, that seems to be a lot of it. You have to educate the asset managers on your local contract laws. You have to get the other realtors to understand this is a different kind of process. And so it can take more time, and it could be very, very frustrating at times, honestly. I also make the joke that I don't wish REO on my worst enemies at certain points, but it does pay the bills, and it's rewarding in the end. And there are people that get burnt out in this world, and it's the strong that will survive through it.
Yeah, I can agree 100% with that, Tom. That seems to be what a lot of us REO brokers have to go through.
Right.
Can you tell us currently about your market area and what's going on in your market?
Colorado Springs. So amazingly, about 3 months ago, Colorado Springs was rated as the fastest growing town in the entire United States. We do have 5 military bases around this one town. So VA loans are actually very, very common. And so I always have to let my asset managers know that, because they'll be like, why do you have so many VA loans? Well, there's a good reason. So that's about a third of our market, a third of our loans that are coming through easily. This is a very, very fluid town. So I don't think Colorado Springs has ever been really stagnant, because you have people coming and going, and they have to have a roof over their heads. So you definitely want to embrace the military world and retirees and all of that. So, but Colorado Springs is a hot town, and so that's what's going on here. I think we're growing to about roughly 600,000 now in all of El Paso County. So, and eventually we're going to be merged with Denver, and we'll see what they rename the town.
Yeah, that's good to hear that you have a very good fluent population and market area. But how have you seen the real estate market evolve over the past 20 years around you and in general?
Wow. Because the town just keeps on growing, there's always business to be had. The military angle has not changed. So I'm just saying that's only getting bigger and better. For years, they had threatened that they were going to shut Fort Carson down, and that's a really big Army base at the south end of town, and that base only gets bigger and bigger. So just because of that, we have a massive military population here, but the growth in this town has just been crazy. And so we were one of the first ones to also legalize marijuana, and that matters because we had a lot of tax dollars coming in, and because we needed to expand the roads because it's growing just that fast.
And to alleviate more on that, what trends are you shaping the real estate sector in your specialized fields of REO and training and overall in general?
Trends, REO trends. We tend to stay on average with what the nation's doing overall. So if REO is kind of quiet during a certain year, we usually are also. So we tend to hang with the norm and the average. Our average price point is like right at 490,000. So I think we're a little bit higher than the national average there. So because of the growth, I think we do have accelerated values. Maybe not like California or other places, but definitely it's been a steady growth town, and the market has never been dead.
That's good information about Colorado. How do you think technology impacted the way you're now conducting your business in real estate, and what do you see in the future for the technology?
There's always something bigger and better that's coming out. Honestly, I'm most impressed with photography and the virtual walkthroughs we have these days. Buyers can just go online. They don't need to, immediately start with a realtor. And I think it's something like 95% or more, buyers are beginning their shopping online. So buyers can really help themselves up front. So I think that's one of the biggest tools out there right now. As far as REO, I mean, there's all kinds of tools of, auto fill in for BPO forms. And I think the portals are getting more and more almost complicated. There's some out there that have been around for years, and they're fairly simple when you're on them, and then there's new ones that are popping up, and they're trying to give you 10 million options on how to do one thing, and it starts to bog the entire process down. So I wish the portals would be just a little more simpler, because that would help us all in the REO world.
That's great. That's good information on how we can keep things moving, steady for the REO world and for the REO broker and agent. Sometimes we're managing a diverse portfolio of properties. How do you approach that unique challenges that each type of category, presents itself? Is there anything special you may work on?
I may not be as diverse as other brokers out there. I rarely touch commercial in the REO world. I don't do property management. Just everybody I know who's in the property management finds it to be a nightmare, and more power to them that they do that. So I don't mind saying I am highly specialized in normal retail single family homes, and that's what I do best, whether it's REO or private party.
That's all great information, Tom. We appreciate your insight. But what keeps you motivated in your real estate career after 20 years?
People. I love people. I love helping people, whether it has to be cash for keys, which I usually do really well with. I try to give them a shoulder to cry on when they have to, and hear their story. I'm always kind to them, and do my best to get them out peacefully and to where it helps them out. If it wasn't for loving people, I wouldn't be in this business. And so and problem solving is something I think I do really, really well. So whether it's a problem with a deal, or an asset manager needs help with something, or just a retail client that needs something creatively solved, that's what I live for. I think I'm really, really good at it. And so if you're going to be an REO broker, you have to be a problem solver, period, because you're going to get all kinds of things thrown at you from all kinds of different directions, and you have to be able to deal with it. And I think that's where some people fail in this business. They just get overwhelmed, but you have to think outside the box, and you have to reach out for help. And that's where, part of being with a group like yours, I can reach out if I need help with something that I can't figure out. And you guys are there.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Tom. Workarounds and problem solving is a lot of those things that we have to do. Can you tell us, how has REOBroker.com benefited your business? And could you provide us maybe with a few examples of how REOBroker.com has been beneficial for you?
Oh gosh, I mean, just being networked with some of the best in the nation, that speaks volumes right there. And the fact that you guys do a weekly mastermind, meeting, so that we can all share for things that other people may not know. There's been many weeks I have something to share about what a client's doing, or that I got a new REO, but there's times I'm quiet and I'm just listening and taking notes. And so just to hear what's going on around the entire nation also is a huge help. You may have clients going to a certain area, and you just learn from being on your meetings that okay, there's something going wrong here, or the market's going up, or the market's going down. But just to be able to pick the brains of other professionals in the nation is exactly what REO Broker brings. And so why wouldn't you want to be a part of it?
Thank you for sharing your insights and experiences with Tom. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience? And also, how can our audience get a hold of you for assistance in buying and selling REO?
Certainly. I mean, if you're an REO broker, veteran, or brand new, this is a group you definitely want to be a part of. It's one of the best networking opportunities that you can do, and it's information sharing. I mean, who doesn't want that? And when it comes to asset managers, you have the best of the best here. So, and when we have our own problems that we need to solve, we reach out to other members, and so that's where you have this amazing network where we get things done and problems solved. And so if you wanted to reach me personally, I'm easy to find. It's www.tomlazzaro.com, and that's 2 Z's and 1 R. And my email, tom@tomlazzaro.com. So look forward to hearing from you if you need anything.
Well, thank you, Tom, for your information and insights. And for our audience, please download Power is Now TV on your Android or iPhone and watch our latest episodes on REOBroker.com TV or any streaming platform. You can listen to our podcast at REOBroker.com podcast or the Power is Now on any podcast platform. You can connect with us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So let's get connected at REOBroker.com, where we do more than just sell REO. And thank you for spending the time watching our Agent Spotlight today with Tom Lazzaro.